it used to be, like, we're all sitting here talking about. And, I miss those days. I feel like
Sure.
a lot of these kids and bands are getting shortchanged and aren't going to be able to even have a fraction of the excitement that I had.
Well,
And, you know,
is it tough making a living now because of the streaming? You're not selling CDs. You're not probably making as much as you did when you were touring. With all the streaming and crap that's out there, isn't it a lot tougher to make a living being in a band?
oh, absolutely. That's why me and my partner, started a record label, is for, to supplement the income, because, in order to make a living doing soil, we'd have to tour 9 months out of the year to make a very comfortable living. And there's bands out there doing it, like, Head PE and Flaw, and man, God bless those guys, because they're, in their, pushing, if not in their 50s, they're pushing
Mm-hmm.
50s, and they're out there 9 months out of the year,
Yeah.
slugging it out, and they're making a living at it. But, that's just not something that I and the rest of my guys wanted to do, is just be on tour 24/7. It just,
Right.
it's a lot.
It is.
All right, let me ask my usual question here about, since we're talking about touring and traveling and everything else, I have to know, because I'm looking for the guy that's going to be honest with me and tell me with the truth. How great is it touring with the buses and the girls and the drinking and the partying? I mean, is it nonstop? Or was it nonstop back in the day with like groupies everywhere and it was just like half naked girls hanging out the window? I mean, was it awesome or what?
I mean, we never got to the gigantic level where there's like people lined up outside of the bus, or, all these crazy things happening where you could, break $5,000 worth of stuff to tell your tour manager to whip out the credit card. We never, made it to those heights. But, I mean, back when soil was at its peak, we were all in our 20s. So, we had the time of our lives. And, Clive Davis, who was, the head of our record label, J Records through BMG, was writing checks left and right, and the sky was the limit. So we had unlimited funds to go out and do all this stuff that we were doing. We had a blast. I mean, we'd park next to Zakk Wylde's bus each night on, Ozfest and on that Ozzy tour, and he taught us how to drink. Before then, I'd have 3-4 beers and be buzzed. We'd be on his bus, 2 cases of beer and a bottle of Crown Royal. My bass tech would be carrying me to bed. I'd wake up the next morning not knowing what century it was. We learned a lot on those tours about drinking and doing all kinds of stuff, and had a blast. I wouldn't trade any of that. It's probably shaved years off my life, but they're years well spent shaved, I guess.
Yeah, but how fun are those late 80s anyway, right? You're not gonna, I mean, who's having fun at 86 years old? Why keep that year, right?
True. And I mean, we toured Europe with Damage Plan, Vinny and Dime.
Oh, Jesus.
That I don't remember a month of my life because of those. I mean, literally. I mean, I'm no joke. I mean, with the black tooth grins and hanging out with Dime and falling into what everybody was like, you guys, Dime likes you guys. Be careful you don't fall into the web of Dime. Well, we fell straight into the web and stuck to it. And I don't remember that entire month being in Europe. I mean, that's how crazy it was back then.
That is funny.